The Los Angeles Lakers managed to secure a victory against the Phoenix Suns on Sunday night, but the path to that win was far from pretty. Head coach J.J. Redick had several days to prepare his squad following a disappointing performance in their Emirates NBA Cup quarterfinal matchup. The Suns had previously embarrassed the Lakers on their home floor at Crypto.com Arena not long before this contest, making this rematch particularly important for Los Angeles. While the final outcome showed a Lakers triumph, the manner in which they achieved it left much to be desired from an aesthetic standpoint. The team struggled offensively throughout the evening, managing to convert just 43% of their field goal attempts. From beyond the three-point arc, the Lakers were even more challenged, connecting on a mere 19% of their long-range shots. These shooting percentages would normally spell disaster for any team, but Los Angeles found a way to compensate through sheer determination and effort on other aspects of the game. The Lakers demonstrated their resilience by significantly elevating their defensive intensity during the middle quarters of the contest. In a remarkable stretch spanning the second and third periods, they held the Suns to a combined total of just 41 points. During this defensive surge, Los Angeles went on an extraordinary 24-0 scoring run that seemed to put the game out of reach. The Lakers' defense was suffocating during this stretch, forcing turnovers and contesting every shot the Suns attempted. However, the Lakers nearly squandered their commanding advantage in dramatic fashion. After building what appeared to be a comfortable lead, they allowed Phoenix to claw their way back into contention. The Suns mounted a furious comeback that erased the Lakers' cushion entirely, setting up a tense finish to what should have been a more comfortable victory. With just 12 seconds remaining on the clock and Los Angeles trailing, the outcome hung in the balance. LeBron James stepped to the free throw line in this critical moment and calmly knocked down two crucial free throws that put the Lakers back ahead. These clutch shots from the veteran superstar proved to be the difference as Los Angeles escaped with a narrow victory by a final score of 114-112. It was a nail-biting conclusion that had Lakers fans on the edge of their seats until the final buzzer sounded. Despite the late-game collapse that nearly cost his team the victory, Redick expressed satisfaction with how the Lakers managed to grind out the win. Speaking after the game, the first-year head coach revealed his appreciation for victories that require maximum effort and determination. He acknowledged that the preference would have been to maintain control and not face a one-possession game with seconds remaining, but he saw value in his team having to fight through adversity. Redick emphasized that winning ugly contests actually brings him a particular sense of enjoyment because it demonstrates his team's willingness to engage in physical, hard-nosed basketball. He noted that when you win games without playing your best offensive basketball, it means your squad got into the trenches and battled for every possession. The Lakers showed that mental toughness on this particular night, refusing to fold when things got difficult in the closing minute. The statistical breakdown of the game revealed just how much the Lakers relied on their effort plays rather than their shooting touch. Los Angeles dominated the glass, pulling down 54 total rebounds compared to just 37 for Phoenix. Even more impressively, 20 of those rebounds came on the offensive end, giving the Lakers numerous second-chance opportunities that helped compensate for their poor shooting percentages. This rebounding dominance was a testament to their desire and hustle. The Lakers also earned their way to the free throw line an impressive 43 times throughout the contest. While their field goal percentages were subpar, they were able to accumulate points through their aggressive attacking mentality that forced the Suns into foul trouble. Additionally, the Lakers' defense created havoc by recording 13 steals and swatting away 8 shots. They forced Phoenix into 19 turnovers, which Los Angeles converted into 31 points on the other end. With Austin Reeves sidelined due to injury, other players needed to step up and fill the void left by the talented guard. The Lakers received substantial contributions from their bench unit, which played a pivotal role in the victory. These reserve players helped support the efforts of James and fellow star player, providing the depth necessary to weather the storm when the starters needed rest. The bench's performance during that massive 24-0 run was particularly crucial. As Redick articulated in his post-game comments, winning a game of this nature required his entire roster to demonstrate fight and competitive spirit. The Lakers had to dig deep and show mental fortitude when their shots were not falling and the game hung in the balance. While there were certainly some unnecessarily tense moments down the stretch that could have been avoided, the most important thing was that Los Angeles found a way to emerge victorious when the final horn sounded. The win improved the Lakers' record and gave them momentum heading into their next contest. For a team with championship aspirations, learning how to win games when not playing your best basketball is an invaluable skill. These are the types of victories that can define a season and build the character necessary for playoff success. The Lakers proved they have the resilience to grind out tough wins wins even on nights when their offensive execution is lacking. Lakers center DeAndre Ayton, who had an excellent game on both ends of the floor, spoke about the emotional nature of the contest afterward. He felt that the intensity level and physicality of the matchup created an environment that brought out the best competitive instincts in both teams. Ayton believed that the Lakers playing with an edge and refusing to back down from any confrontation made the crucial difference in the outcome. The game featured multiple instances where players had to be separated, particularly between LeBron James and Suns forward Dillon Brooks, who have a well-documented history of on-court friction dating back several years. This added an extra layer of intensity to an already heated Western Conference rivalry game. The holiday season brings out the spirit of generosity in many people, and Los Angeles Lakers superstar Luka Doncic is certainly embracing that tradition in spectacular fashion. With the holidays rapidly approaching, the talented guard has demonstrated his appreciation for everyone within the Lakers organization through an incredibly thoughtful and generous gesture that extends far beyond his teammates on the court. Head coach Reic revealed after Tuesday's practice session that Doncic had purchased high-end electric bikes for everyone connected to the Lakers basketball operations department. This wasn't just a gift for the players who share the court with him during games, but rather an all-encompassing gesture that included the entire staff that makes the organization function smoothly. The scale and thoughtfulness of this gift truly showcases the kind of person Doncic is off the basketball court. According to Reic, the final count totaled 103 electric bikes that were distributed throughout the organization. These weren't ordinary bikes either, but rather very high-end models that represent a significant investment. The head coach expressed his personal excitement about taking his new bike down to the beach, noting how much he's looking forward to using this generous gift from his star player. The gesture clearly meant a great deal to everyone who received one. This act of generosity speaks volumes about who Doncic is as both a player and a person. While many athletes might consider giving gifts solely to their teammates, Doncic made a conscious decision to include every member of the basketball operations staff. This includes assistant coaches, trainers, equipment managers, video coordinators, front office personnel, and everyone else who works behind the scenes to support the team's success. It's a recognition that winning basketball requires contributions from far more than just the players on the roster. The chemistry and camaraderie that this Lakers team has displayed throughout the season has been evident to anyone watching their games. This gift from Doncic further reinforces the family atmosphere that the organization has worked to cultivate. By ensuring that everyone felt included and appreciated, the young superstar has strengthened those bonds even further. The Lakers have consistently talked about being more than just a team, describing themselves as a family unit, and gestures like this demonstrate that commitment to unity. Reic also took the opportunity to highlight other examples of Doncic's character and his awareness of the platform he possesses as one of the NBA's brightest stars. The head coach referenced how quickly Doncic responded earlier in the year when devastating wildfires spread throughout Southern California. Just 1 month after those tragic fires, the Lakers star was actively involved in giving back to the community and helping those who had been affected by the disaster. His response was immediate and heartfelt. The coach emphasized that this type of community engagement and awareness is simply part of who Doncic is as a person. The superstar guard understands the responsibility that comes with being the face of a franchise in a major market like Los Angeles. He recognizes the influence he has and consistently uses that platform in positive ways. Whether it's the community work he did following the wildfires or the team-building gestures like this bike gift, Doncic has shown maturity beyond his years. Earlier in the season, Doncic also organized a Porsche driving experience for his teammates, which was another example of his desire to build relationships and create memorable experiences for those around him. These types of activities help foster the kind of chemistry that can translate to success on the basketball court. When players genuinely care about each other and enjoy spending time together off the court, it typically shows up in how they play together during games. The Lakers have benefited from this positive team culture all season long. Being the face of a franchise encompasses much more than simply dominating on the basketball court during games. While Doncic's on-court exploits and offensive brilliance are what grab headlines and highlight reels, it's gestures like this electric bike gift that truly define what it means to be a leader. The young star is showing that he understands leadership extends into every aspect of his role with the organization. He's not just leading by example during practices and games, but also in how he treats people and makes them feel valued. The Lakers have always prided themselves on being an organization that operates like a family rather than just a business. From the ownership down through every level of the franchise, there's an emphasis on treating people with respect and appreciation. By purchasing these bikes for everyone in basketball operations, Doncic is demonstrating that he embraces those same values. He's showing his teammates, coaches, and staff that he sees them, appreciates their contributions, and wants them to know they're important to him. As far as what's happening on the basketball court, Doncic has been nothing short of spectacular on the offensive end of the floor. His ability to score, create plays for teammates, and control the tempo of games has made the Lakers one of the most explosive offensive teams in the league. However, the superstar guard has also been vocal about areas where the team needs to improve if they want to achieve their championship goals. He recently emphasized the importance of figuring out their defensive issues sooner rather than later. Doncic understands that while putting up points is important, championships are ultimately won by teams that can get stops on the defensive end when games are on the line. The Lakers will need to shore up their defense as the season progresses if they want to compete with the elite teams in the Western Conference. But with a leader like Doncic who demonstrates character both on and off the court, the Lakers have the right person guiding them toward those championship aspirations. His generosity with these electric bikes is just one more example of why he's the perfect face for this storied franchise moving forward into the future. The Los Angeles Lakers find themselves in a challenging position as they evaluate potential improvements to their roster heading deeper into the season. While the offensive side of the basketball has been functioning at a high level, particularly with Luka Doncic playing at what many would consider a most valuable player caliber level, the defensive end of the court has presented significant concerns that need to be addressed if this team harbors serious championship aspirations. Through their first 25 games of the campaign, the Lakers have struggled considerably to contain opposing offenses. The team currently holds the 20th highest defensive rating in the entire league, which is simply not good enough for a squad that wants to compete with the elite teams in the highly competitive Western Conference. This defensive deficiency has become increasingly apparent as the season has progressed, and it's something that coaching staff and players alike recognize must improve dramatically. Marcus Smart, who happens to be the Lakers' highest rated defender according to various defensive metrics this season, has been particularly vocal about the team's struggles on that end of the floor. Speaking with reporters, Smart didn't mince words when addressing what needs to change for this team to reach its potential. He emphasized that the fundamental requirement for success is the ability to guard opponents consistently and effectively throughout 48 minutes of basketball. The veteran guard pointed out that the scouting report being circulated around the league regarding the Lakers is not flattering when it comes to their defensive capabilities. Other teams have identified that Los Angeles struggles to guard people, and they're game planning specifically to attack that weakness. Smart made it crystal clear that if the Lakers genuinely want to achieve greatness and accomplish the goals they've set for themselves this season, especially in the brutally tough Western Conference, they absolutely must be able to guard at a much higher level. The problem for the Lakers is that they don't have an easy internal solution to their defensive woes. Looking at the current roster construction, there isn't an obvious answer sitting on the bench that can single-handedly transform their defense. While Smart himself is the team's best defender, one player can only do so much when the overall defensive system and commitment aren't where they need to be. The Lakers need multiple players who can defend at a high level to truly compete with the conference's best. Jared Vanderbilt represents the Lakers' second highest rated defender according to defensive metrics, but his availability has been severely limited recently. Through the entire month of December, Vanderbilt has logged just 18 total minutes of playing time. This lack of availability from one of their better defensive players has certainly contributed to the team's struggles on that end. When a defender of Vanderbilt's caliber can't get on the court consistently, it creates a significant gap in the defensive rotation. If the Lakers genuinely want to contend for a championship in the Western Conference, they're going to need to acquire a versatile defensive player through a trade. The ideal target would be someone they can plug into the lineup immediately and who can make an instant impact defending multiple positions. The Western Conference is loaded with dominant offensive teams, from the Denver Nuggets to the Houston Rockets to the Oklahoma City Thunder. To compete with these high-powered offenses, the Lakers need defenders who can switch, contest shots, and make life difficult for opposing scorers. Unfortunately for Los Angeles and their front office, the market for the exact type of player they're seeking appears to be extremely limited at this particular juncture of the season. The 3-and-D archetype player, someone who can defend at a high level while also spacing the floor with consistent three-point shooting, is precisely what the Lakers need. However, according to league sources, that market is very thin right now, which presents a significant challenge for the team's trade aspirations. According to Mark Stein, who covers the NBA extensively and has excellent league sources, the Lakers would naturally like to be active participants in the 3-and-D market during this trade season. However, the options available are quite limited. The market at this point is essentially headlined by Sacramento Kings guard Keon Ellis, despite the fact that he's playing significantly fewer minutes this season. Under New Kings head coach Doug Christie, Ellis is averaging 7 fewer minutes per game compared to what he logged last season. Ellis is currently averaging just 17 minutes of playing time per game for Sacramento, which raises questions about both his availability in trade discussions and his current role with his team. Despite the reduced minutes, he's still shooting the basketball well from beyond the arc, converting 37% of his three-point attempts. This shooting ability combined with his defensive skills makes him an intriguing target, though perhaps not the impact defender the Lakers ultimately need. In his limited action throughout the season, Ellis has posted averages of 5.3 points per game, 1.3 rebounds per contest, and 1.2 steals per game. While these numbers don't jump off the page, they also don't tell the full story of his defensive impact when he's on the court. However, even if the Lakers were to successfully acquire Ellis, it wouldn't necessarily inspire the kind of confidence that adding a truly elite defender would provide. His addition would help shore up the defense to some extent, but it might not be the transformative move they're really seeking. The player who would truly move the needle for the Lakers defense is someone like Herbert Jones from the New Orleans Pelicans. Jones has established himself as one of the premier wing defenders in the entire league, capable of guarding multiple positions at an elite level while also contributing offensively. He's exactly the type of versatile, impactful defender that could transform the Lakers' defensive identity. However, according to Mark Stein's reporting, Jones is likely completely out of the Lakers' price range in any potential trade scenario. The Pelicans would almost certainly demand a package of assets that the Lakers either don't possess or aren't willing to part with to acquire a player of Jones's caliber. This puts Los Angeles in a difficult position where the player they really need to solve their defensive problems is essentially unavailable to them. They're left searching for lesser alternatives in a market that doesn't have many appealing options at the moment. This situation creates a real dilemma for Lakers management and their front office decision makers. Do they settle for a player like Keon Ellis, who could provide modest improvement but isn't a game-changing defensive acquisition, or do they continue to wait and hope that better options emerge as the trade deadline approaches and more teams potentially make players available? There's also the risk that waiting too long could mean missing out on the limited options that are currently available. The Lakers' struggles on defense haven't gone unnoticed by opposing teams and coaches around the league. As Marcus Smart mentioned, the scouting report is out there, and teams are game planning specifically to attack Los Angeles on that end. Every night, opponents are coming in with strategies designed to exploit the Lakers' defensive weaknesses. This makes it even more urgent for the team to find solutions, whether through internal improvement or external additions via trade. The coaching staff has certainly been working with the current roster to try to improve defensive communication, rotations, and effort. However, there's only so much that coaching and scheme can accomplish when there might be fundamental personnel limitations. Sometimes you simply need better individual defenders to compete at the highest level, particularly in playoff basketball where the game slows down and individual matchups become even more critical. The Lakers understand this reality. As the season continues to progress and the trade deadline draws closer, the Lakers will need to make some difficult decisions about how aggressively to pursue defensive help. The limited market certainly complicates matters, but standing pat and hoping for internal improvement alone seems risky given how competitive the Western Conference is this year. With Luka Doncic playing at such a high level offensively, it would be unfortunate to waste this kind of performance because the team couldn't find adequate defensive support around him and LeBron James.